The papyrus, put it on my table every month. I don't wanna be sad. Don't even try to hide it. No, I don't wanna lose it. And you see how it is, it's so inviting. The papyrus, we're all so alive. The papyrus.
Welcome to Papyrus TV Africa. The headlines. Mokwa community seeks urgent fumigation as decomposing flood victims pose health risk. INEC rejects PDP NEC notice with over-compliance of party guidelines. Federal government launches nationwide proof of address system to strengthen security and service delivery. Rivers nominees declare assets after DSS police screenings. Defense headquarters denied military sabotage in Benue killings. Delta North APC chairman rejects purported endorsement of Ned Nwoko for 2027. Christian Youth Forum calls for self-defense in Benue, condemns killings. The Mokwa community in Niger State is grappling with a looming public health emergency in the aftermath of devastating floods that ravaged the area. Residents and local authorities are sounding the alarm as decomposing bodies swept away by the floodwaters remain unaccounted for, raising serious fears about the outbreak of disease. Investigations revealed that despite efforts by community members and emergency response teams, several corpses were either washed into the nearby bushes or buried in shallow areas that have since become inaccessible. The situation has given rise to a pervasive stench that now hangs over the community like a cloud, prompting widespread anxiety among residents. The traditional ruler of Mokwa, Dein Dalele Alhaji Muhammad Aliyu, has called for immediate fumigation of the affected areas to stem what he described as a ticking health bomb. He made the appeal during a visit to his palace by members of the National Council of Women's Society, NCWS, noting that urgent intervention is needed or the community could be plunged into a major health disaster. Decomposing bodies are scattered everywhere. If nothing is done, it is capable of causing a major health disaster, he said solemnly. Residents like Abdullah Muhammad echoed the concern, saying that public awareness was crucial. Our people need to be educated, he said. The health implications of recovering bodies from every corner of this town are serious and must not be overlooked. Attempts to get official responses from the state commissioners for health went unanswered, but the senior government official who asked not to be named insisted that the state government was not neglecting the issue and had robust plans in place to manage public health risks. Meanwhile, Director General of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, Abdullahi Baba Ara, was also unreachable for comment on the usage of relief donations and the scale of government response thus far. In another development, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has faulted the People's Democratic Party, PDP, over a recent notice issued for its National Executive Committee meeting, declaring the notification invalid due to non-compliance with established guidelines. In a formal letter dated June 13, 2025 and addressed to the PDP National Chairman, INEC stated that the notice failed to meet the requirements stipulated in Part 2, Subsection 12.3 of the 2022 Regulations and Guidelines for Political Parties. The letter signed by INEC's Acting Secretary Haliru Aminu emphasized that the notice lacked the required joint signature of both the party's national chairman and national secretary. The Commission draws your attention to the requirement that the national chairman and national secretary of the party shall jointly sign the notice, the letter read. The development throws fresh uncertainty into the internal operations of Nigeria's main opposition party. The position of the PDP National Secretary remains a contentious issue following a Supreme Court ruling affecting the roles of Senator Sam Anyanwu and Ude Okoye. With the party yet to issue a formal response to the INEC letter, it remains unclear whether the NEC meeting will proceed as planned or be rescheduled in compliance with the guidelines. Political observers believe that INEC's intervention underscores the legal and procedural pressures facing political parties ahead of future electoral cycles. The PDP, already dealing with internal power struggles, now faces yet another institutional challenge to its organizational cohesion. The federal government has launched an ambitious national sensitization campaign to roll out the local government-based proof of address (POA) system across all 774 local government areas of Nigeria. The initiative, part of President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, aims to create a reliable databases of verifiable addresses for residents nationwide. At the Stakeholders Forum held in Abuja, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, represented by Engineer Nadungu Gagare, described the initiative as a transformative step towards enhancing national security, governance, and grassroots development. The POA system is critical to administrative planning and public safety, Akume said. It will integrate with national identity systems, facilitate service delivery, and help address the challenges of insecurity. The Director of Information in the SGF's office, Shegun Imyohosen, said that the address database would be linked with key national services such as voter registration, passport applications, national identity card issuance, and banking access. Honorable Bello Lawal, President of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, called the project a critical national infrastructure and urged traditional rulers, civil society, and community leaders to support implementation at the local level. The Nigerian Postal Service (NIPOST) also pledged to support the initiative with a new digital alphanumeric postcode system. Represented by Mrs. Rose Ismaila, Postmaster General Tola Adeyemi stated that NIPOST was aligning street naming data with digital postcodes to facilitate comprehensive and traceable address records. 17 individuals nominated by President Bola Tinubu to serve on various commissions in Rivers State have formally declared their assets before the Code of Conduct Bureau in compliance with constitutional requirements. This follows their clearance by the Department of State Services and the Nigerian Police Force. Senate Leader and Chairman of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Rivers State, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele, disclosed this during a screening session for the sole administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas. According to Bamidele, the nominees faced rigorous background checks by security agencies, all of which returned clean records. The Senate is expected to rectify the appointments soon. Nominees include Dr. Bariko Baribuma, Chairman Civil Service Commission, Dr. Michael Ekpa Ode, Chairman Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, and Israel Amadi, Chairman Local Government Services Commission, among others. Additional screening for nominees to the Rivers State Primary Healthcare Management Board are scheduled later this week. The process marks a key step in formalizing governance structures in Rivers State following the controversial appointment of a sole administrator earlier this year. Bamidele affirmed that the committee received no petitions against any nominee, further expediting their path to confirmation. The Defense Headquarters (DHQ) has debunked claims that internal sabotage within the Nigerian military contributed to the recent massacre in Yelwata, Guma, local government area of Benue State. Rejecting the speculation, the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukuru Gusau, described such reports as unfounded and not supported by credible evidence. General Gusau stated that investigations conducted by both the military and independent bodies, including human rights organizations, have not established any link between the Nigerian armed forces and the perpetrators of the massacre. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has also publicly distanced the military from any involvement in the killings. He further explained that the Yelwata massacre reflects the broader pattern of intercommunal violence across Nigeria's Middle Belt, driven by long-standing land disputes, ethnic tensions, and competition over scarce resources. Gusau appealed to leaders to cooperate with security agencies by reporting criminal elements and avoiding the shielding of suspects. He reassured the public of the military's continued commitment to peacekeeping and protection of civilian lives. The Forum of All Progressives Congress (APC) local government chairman in Delta North Senatorial District has strongly disavowed a purported endorsement of Senator Ned Nwoko for a second term in 2027. The chairman described the endorsement allegedly issued by some world leaders as unauthorized and not representatives of the party's local government structures. In a joint statement signed by 7 chairmen representing Anyocha South, Ika South, Oshimili South, Oshimili North, Ndokwa East, Ndokwa West, and Okwani LGAs, the forum reaffirmed support for President Bola Tinubu and Governor Sheriff Uborewori. They called on party members to remain focused on strengthening the APC and preparing for transparent internal elections. They stressed that any legitimate endorsements must follow due process and reflect the consensus of the local party hierarchy. The Concerned Christian Youth Forum CCYF has issued a strong call to action, urging Benue youths to mobilize and defend themselves against ongoing attacks that have claimed hundreds of lives in the state. The group decried what it called a systematic extermination of communities in the state, citing the recent massacre where over 200 civilians were reportedly killed. In a statement signed by convener James Paul Adama, the group expressed outrage at the state's deteriorating security situation. The forum called on youths to defend their ancestral lands and also urged political leaders in Benue to set aside partisanship and focus on ending the violence. No political goal is worth sacrificing the lives of your people, Adama stated. The group also appealed to security agencies to intensify efforts to bring the perpetrators to justice and called for national prayers and solidarity with the people of Benue as they grapple with loss, displacement, and trauma.